Breaking news in the world of college football as the University of Michigan has fired head football coach Sherrone Moore. ESPN broke the news that Moore was being dismissed with cause, and now the university has released a statement saying they are letting Moore go because of an inappropriate relationship with a staff member. During his 2 years as head coach, the Wolverines went 15-8. They're set to play in the Citrus Bowl against Texas on New Year's Eve. Assistant Biff Poggi is going to take over on an interim basis. Again, Sherrone Moore fired today by the University of Michigan as the Wolverines head football coach. Colts officially signed quarterback Phillip Rivers. Riley Leonard got in a full practice today for the Colts. He's dealing with a knee injury. Commanders quarterback Jaden Daniels out Week 15 against the Giants. Geno Smith not likely to play for the Raiders against Philadelphia as Kenny Pickett is in line to start. The Baltimore Orioles have signed former Mets slugger Pete Alonso to a 5-year deal. I'm Dan Byer.
Vomit.
What are you vomiting about, Pete
Gross.
Alonso?
Everything in baseball.
That's disgruntled Mets fan Rich Davis. I'm Covino. Baseball. It's Covino and Rich on Fox Sports Radio with Danny G, super producer. Welcome back.
Good night. Happy Wednesday.
I know how committed Danny G is to our show and to radio, and he loves what he does. So for him to have missed the last two shows, he had to be really sick. So glad to see you're doing better, Danny G. Iowa Sam is here on the buttons.
How do?
Spot's getting ready for midweek major because it's a hump day. He's on the videos. Covino and Rich, FSR, and we be rocking out. Let's go. So, Rich, great to see you, man. I'm sorry, buddy.
You know, Danny G wasn't actually sick. He's learning to play Timmy trumpets for the Dodgers, I heard.
Danny G's
That's
the
true.
new trumpet player. Because Danny G's a very happy resident Dodgers fan. Dan Byer, the great, is on standby. Stick around for his insight and his updates. It's the best show on radio, according to me and my mom. She listens too. My mom, Hortensia. Covino and Rich, and again, broadcasting from the Fox Sports Radio studios in L.A. If you miss any of the show, catch the podcast. Danny G puts a best of every day, like a condensed version, and a best of the week every Saturday morning. But you can watch the show anytime on the YouTube page. Our bonus podcast is also there. Overpromise. Check it out and enjoy. Now, we're giving away prizes today. But, Rich, man, I really am sorry because it feels like, and this is outside looking in. I'm on the outside. I'm looking in like Aaron Lewis of Stain. It feels like your team is crumbling. It feels like your team is falling apart.
I don't know why. That's the thing, Covino. It's like, you know, they talk about,
Juan
Steve Cohen's,
Soto, that's why.
He's the, best owner in baseball, and the culture there is great, and everyone loves it, and they're so good to the families. Listen, much like Dan Campbell when he was talking about, hey, we're going to bite kneecaps, and everyone's like, look at this dope. And then it ended up working out. The Lions never won a Super Bowl, and I don't think they're headed there.
They shifted their culture, though, for sure.
But when you talk about Stearns, I don't think what he's doing is rubbing anyone the right way. Like, you're the guy, you're the president of baseball operations, and, you're here with Steve Cohen. You guys are both lifelong Mets fans. I don't know how you let Diaz go for a couple million more to the one team you need to beat, and then the next day, if that's not bad enough, the face of your franchise, the home run leader, Polar Bear Pete. My kids have his shirt. Like, it's the worst. Pete Alonso going to the Orioles? Like,
why?
Well, it's obvious as to why Alonso left, okay? Alonso's gone, 5-year deal, $155 million to the Orioles. He didn't go there to win. I don't believe they're contenders, but hell of a ballpark. He'll be hitting bombs.
Man,
Clearly
Pete Alonso's
wanted,
he's trying to hit 500 home runs is what he's trying to do.
And you know what? He might at that park. Great vibe. Camden Yards is great. But they have a long way to go. But things change quick. I think this is clearly a situation of he was disrespected last year. He bet on himself, put up big numbers again. I don't feel the fans embraced him the way they should have. He's been a lifelong Met. He's always been clutch for you guys.
Oh my God.
Ownership should have gave him what he wanted.
He's the only guy that the fans relate to when he does his, LFGM and I don't know.
Yeah, but I feel like the fans didn't have his back enough when he was fighting to stay, right? Everyone was looking forward, seeing who they could get when Alonso was there the whole time. I really think this is a case of job security and the 5 years, and I think that meant more to him than dealing with the Mets again. And with Diaz, they had Devin Williams, but he had an opportunity with the Dodgers. You can't blame him for that. So there's reasons, and I understand. But what's gross about this, Rich, is, man, that the Dodgers keep getting better. But as far as your team's concerned, you're still in it. You got Simeon, you got Soto, you got Lindor. It's a matter of who could you get in the bullpen. The Mets are still looking good, but you lost some really, really big pieces.
Do you try to get Tucker? Do you get Cody Bellinger? Do you make a trade for Skubal? I'm not going to – oh, God. I so badly want to overreact like every New York Mets fan that's, pulling their hair out, losing their mind, like, Alonso's gone and Diaz is gone. But I look at it this way, man. We don't know what the roster looks like. If you told me –
you need some bait. You need some bait because we said this yesterday, Rich. When you lose Diaz to the Dodgers for the chance to win and play in L.A. and play with the greats, anyone that was on the fence about staying or playing with the Mets is gone. Pete Alonso, he's like, Diaz is out? I don't want to play with this team. All the pressure of New York and no one appreciates me anyway. I'm out. Now that Diaz and Alonso are out, it's even a tougher pull to want to go there. So if I'm Cody Bellinger now, or if I'm a big-time reliever, I'm like, man, I'm not sure. So that's the only tough part here. Like, they're going to really have to open up the wallet. I don't think they have a problem doing that. But it does send up a red flag a little bit to those guys, weighing out their options that, hey, maybe something is up with the Mets. Maybe this isn't the place to be. Why are these other people leaving?
Now, Steve Cohen might be the best owner in baseball, but what if Stearns is a guy that people really don't like? So I heard Edwin Diaz, from my Mets sources, that he was sort of mad, and a lot of personnel was mad, that they fired pitching coach Jeremy Hefner, who was very well loved within the organization. Those little things add up, and I don't know. I'm not going to overreact until I see what the roster looks like going into opening day. Because all of a sudden, listen, if you get Tucker and, Cody Bellinger and you make a trade for Skubal, and there's still a lot to do. But let me tell you, the weakest start to the offseason, as they call it, the hot stove. You lose Diaz and Pete Alonso, and all you have to show for it is, and you lost Nimmo, who was a fan favorite. I didn't care for Nimmo, but you have 3 big pieces gone. But you know how you could look at it? Those 3 guys didn't do jack diddly squat. They made a 1 playoff run, and both of those guys have been on the team for a while. So don't you have to mix it up? When people say, we're going to blow up the team,
well, right
isn't
now,
that sort of what they're doing, right?
It's odd because you still got some big names, but there's some really, really big names also jumping ship. It's a matter of what sort of moves they make moving forward. But based on this, guys, big news today again.
Yeah.
It's a tough week for Mets fans, a tough week for Rich. Based on this, Rich living in L.A., is there ever a reason for you, Rich, as a fan, to jump ship?
If there ever was, now would be it. I'm really testing my Mets fandom. Do I really bleed blue and orange? I guess so.
Your dad jumped ship. Your dad went from Yankees to the Mets.
He did. My kids are like, Dad, we like the Dodgers.
Wait. He went Yankees to the Mets? Why would you do that? That's like jumping from the water into a ship. That doesn't make sense. It's reverse jumping ship.
You know what? My mom's family were Mets fans, and I think my dad just, you know what it was? My dad blames the Bronx. My dad went to Fordham University in the Bronx and got his car stolen 2 times, and he's like, F the Bronx, F the Yankees, and he's like, and he lives in Queens, so he's
I've
like,
had enough.
The Bronx carjackers.
You got to remember, Iowa Sam.
I can't take it anymore. I moved to the Mets.
I'm switching teams for this.
Well, keep in mind, the Mets were a new franchise in the 60s. Keep that in mind.
I need a fresh start.
Dodgers blue, Giants orange. A lot of people don't know that's how the Mets got their colors. 2 teams that left for the West Coast. The Mets are blue and orange because of the Dodgers and the Giants. And, Covino, I love your question because I think that might be one of the answers. When you say, is there any real reason to ever leave a team? And I think franchises moving might be one of the few exceptions. Like we have buddies that are like, yeah, I used to be a Rams fan, then they left and now they're back, and I'm like, F them. Or, buddies we have in St. Louis that are like, I was a Rams fan, but then they left St. Louis. I'm not a Rams fan anymore. So maybe that's a reason?
Well, we brought this up yesterday, and we were talking to Dan Byer. You'll do anything for your kids. And Rich is raising L.A. kids, and they're growing up in an L.A. culture where Shohei Ohtani and Freddie Freeman and Mookie Betts and all these players are iconic and legendary. All the kids in school are trading their cards and wearing their jerseys. And his kids, Rich's kids, they're all excited about the Dodgers.
Ohtani!
And I mentioned that even the corniest things, if your kids love them, you'll appreciate them as their parent. All their goofy shows, all their little cartoons, all of their little kiddie songs, all the things they like are near and dear to you because you're their parent. So I think if your kid is really showing a lot of promise or a lot of fandom to a team, I'm not saying it's okay. I'm just saying I could see that being a catalyst for you to start embracing them. And that is what's happening to you, whether you want to admit it or not.
Yeah, I have a soft spot for the Dodgers, which might be breaking like a man sports rule or something. But I'm still a Mets fan. I can't abandon this miserable franchise. But I got to ask you this. If you're me, because I'll give you my thoughts. If you're me and you hear that Diaz gets an offer from the Mets, and they told Diaz, and there's wiggle room. He goes to the Dodgers, doesn't even come back to see what the Mets counter is. He's like,
the guy had
Dodgers,
his own
let's go.
wiggle room. Was it next to the clubhouse somewhere?
Yeah, that comes with the contract. You
Man.
have access to the wiggle room.
He had his own bathroom and his own wiggle room.
Hey! And then, by the way, Covino, he's going to be at Chuckles in Burbank this weekend.
Thank you.
Danny G.
Hey, I don't see any other Fox Sports Radio hosts making those jokes, making those zingers, taking those chances.
Danny G, I even saw that the Dodgers already started breaking out the organ for Edwin Diaz a day later. Listen to this.
I feel like Danny G busted out the organ for Diaz.
This is. Oh, you're talking about the big Triton cord?
Oh, yeah, that one.
Dieter Rule, the famous, of course, he replaced the legendary organist at Dodger Stadium, a decade or so ago. And he's a friend of the show. I know he listens to the network. Listen to how he welcomed Edwin Diaz.
You know what's interesting about that, Danny G?
I'm gonna vomit on myself. I
Did
feel
the Mets
sick.
sort of give him that intro, or is that something he came up with on his own? Because how does he take that showmanship over to Dodger Stadium? Is that his, or is that the Dodgers sort of
Of course,
thing?
it's his. I wonder, does he go with the Timmy Trumpets, or does he have the organ player do it? He's got to have the light show and everything. You guys, God, so disgusting how the Dodgers get better, and that's a problem. So. Let me go back to my thought.
And more fun. What makes the Dodgers disgusting is that, well, they have over a $500 million payroll, but their superstars are likable. Yeah. And this makes them even more likable and even more fun. Like, not only do you got Shohei Ohtani and everything else, but you got this showmanship and the theatrics of Edwin Diaz coming in from the bullpen. It's insane.
Your thoughts, and again, I don't want to make this about my Mets. So make it about your team. What could your team do? What could your team do to have you possibly jump ship? And I have one answer based on Steve Covino that I'm going to throw out there, and it's a little bit of a juicy, dirty one. I'll get to that in a second. But let me tell you about Edwin Diaz. Again, back to your wiggle room joke. Ho! He didn't even come back to the Mets to see what that wiggle room was. He was so quick to be like, all right, you know what? I'm a Dodger now. I'm a Dodger. Pete Alonso accepts the 5-year $155 without even accepting an offer from the Mets. What does that tell you about what the Mets front office is doing right now? They're very put offish.
It also goes to show you that New York doesn't have this mystique that it once had. And that's slowly dwindling every year that goes by without a championship. And without the luster of just New York City, man. I mean, we're from there. Keep that in mind. We're from the East Coast. We worked and built our career in Manhattan, in New York City. It's sort of a down time to be there and to play there. It really is.
Bro,
the expectations are high, and For what?
I just heard that Grimace signed with the Phillies.
Oh, man, it's a tough week for the Mets fans.
Hey-o! No, but honestly, I might just have to accept the fact that the Mets had a magical, beautiful run 2 years ago with Timmy Trumpets and Grimace, Hawk-Tua Girl, Lindor, and all the magic, and that might have just been a cool moment, and it might be another 5 to 10 years. When Steve Cohen took over this team, Mets fans are under the illusion that, we're going to be like the Dodgers and Yankees and Phillies and teams that make it every year. And already it looks like ass. And so if Pete Alonso, Covino, says, I don't even want to see the Mets offer, I'm going to the Orioles, and Edwin Diaz says, I'm good, I don't even need to see the wiggle room, what does that tell you about David Stearns? What does that tell you about how the front office is rubbing people?
Or how maybe some of the other superstars are rubbing people, or how they really feel about the organization, like you said, Rich. I'm getting a lot of feedback because based on this, Rich's terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day.
Is
Bad
Juan
week for the Mets
Soto a
fans.
jerk and we just don't know it?
Maybe. I'm getting feedback because the question is, well, what would it take for you to jump ship from your team? And West from Vegas, West from Idaho says, if your team had a 20-year streak of suck, I think you're allowed to jump ship. He's sort of giving you the pass, Rich. It's been a long time. 86 was a long time ago.
I'm not doing it. You know, I told you my son is going to be 6, who, if you watch yesterday's show, my son Ben got to play a little game on the air with us. Ben is 6. Just put in perspective, that's how old I was when the Mets won the World Series.
You're picking
What
your
does
nose.
that tell you?
Yeah, you're wearing underoos. Daniel Javier Feets says, I was a Packers fan, and when Favre left, I did too. I realized I was more of a Favre fan than the actual Packers. And if you're a kid and you feel that way, if you're a kid, like I kind of understand that. So that was his reasoning for jumping ship. Let's see. Nature Boy 32 says Diaz probably got his own trumpet player, and he was like, yeah, I'm out. Getting lots of feedback.
Cove, I got one that a reason to leave a team. Now, since I'm having a rough day, rough week, and in addition to this, not that you need to feel sad for me, looks like my dog's in her final stages.
Oh, jeez.
Which is like miserable for the family, miserable for me, miserable. Like,
make it through the holidays.
Please.
It's not. I don't think it's going to happen.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, man. That's
So,
sad.
like,
So sad.
It's like a day-to-day thing. So I'm like trying to explain to my kids, like, dogs don't live forever. And I'm like, and on top of that, my teams are falling apart. My wife's out of town for a family emergency. Like, it's been an ass of a week. But I have a fun one. So let me throw you under the bus for a second. In the 2000s, when you and I first became friends, you had a girlfriend dump you for a guy on the New Jersey Nets.
True story.
Then you had another girl dump you for a New York Ranger.
True story. Back to back. And by the way, they weren't just like girlfriends I was dating. I was with them for 3-4 years at a time, each girl. Like long-term relationships. And it was not good for the ego or confidence when I was living at mom's house trying to make it in radio.
So my question is, when you talk about reasons to stop your fandom, if your team sucks for decades, if your team moves, what if your girl starts sleeping with a dude on the team you root for? Can you root for that guy? Can you root for the team? Like, Covino, God forbid your ex instead of a Ranger. What if all of a sudden she started banging Paul O'Neill or something?
Oh, my goodness. The Warrior? There's no way I could go back to the
What
pinstripes.
if all of a sudden you found out your girl was having sleepovers at Bernie Williams' house?
I'd say that would burn, baby, burn. I'd say that would be a legitimate reason. I'll tell you this from experience, dude, and thanks for rubbing it in, Rich. What a pal.
Okay, hey, rough week. What can I tell you?
I think that my days of going to Nets games at that primo time of my life when I had the time to do so ended abruptly. Guess who I stopped going to see? Guess whose team I stopped watching? The New Jersey Nets. They were the New Jersey Nets at the time. It was just too tough. So, yeah, I think those are legitimate reasons. I do. If you happen to be in that weird situation that I was in, I had a streak of bad luck. And by the way, you could chime in not only on the phones at 877-99 on Fox, but we are streaming live on YouTube. So there's a live YouTube chat where you could chop it up with Lisa and Esteban and Nathaniel Richards and NW. Covino and Rich FSR on YouTube. Covino and Rich FSR. Who do we got, Danny G?
Let's start with Matt in L.A. Matt
Hey.
in SoCal.
Matt, you're on the show. Covino and Rich.
Yo, Covino and Rich, natural content back by Sincere Holiday, BS.
What up?
There you go.
Couple things to me. It's like, one, like, I mean, I'm a 90s kid out here in L.A., trading a favorite player. I'm in the minority here with the Lakers. I was a huge Nick.
Oh, wait,
No,
say
I know-
that again. You were a huge what? You were a huge what?
Nick
Knicks?
Van Exel.
Oh,
fan.
Nick Van
When they
Exel.
traded him, I was crushed. And I know they brought in Shaq and they brought in Kobe, but it also brought in a bunch of new casual fans, and I didn't like that. And also, just moving, changing locations. I mean, I was an LA Rams fan as a kid with Jerome Bettis and everything, and when they upped and moved to St. Louis, that was just crushing. I mean, granted, they moved back, but honestly, it's just not the same.
Hey, if your team moves, they left you, and maybe a new team comes into town, and maybe you embrace them. Like, I get that. And I think the real, subtle, behind-the-scenes reason Rich poses this question, because we've asked this before, is because he's had such a tough week, and he's seriously debating jumping on ship and having fun with his kids and enjoying Los Angeles, the state, the city he lives in, and start rooting for the Dodgers. And you're probably wondering, not to put words in your mouth, how much flack we'll give you as a lifelong Mets fan. Our buddy Ricky's switching teams, isn't he?
Yeah, there's two levels to this. Yes, you guys busting my balls is a big deterrent.
Absolutely.
Right? I would be a fraud, as Rob Parker would say, fraud, fugazi. I would be the worst if I left the Mets. But then, you know what would happen, Covino? You know what would happen? If I left the Mets, they'd win a World Series in the next 5 years, and I would not be able to really cheer for it.
No, Rich, come on. Like, you will always just be a Mets fan on the back burner. So if they do ever get good, then you can just go right back. It's fine.
No way.
waters down your
That's-
fandom.
Gosh.
I think
you can't quit being a Mets fan to become a
wishy-washy
Dodger
though.
fan.
You can't be a wishy-washy
Well,
fan.
then be going from Mets to the Dodgers is wishy-washy. So just stay with the Mets. Just root for them.
I have a buddy, Rob, a Brooklyn dude that lives out here in L.A., one of my buddies I play softball with. He's late 40s. So he never saw the Jets win anything. He was not born he was born after 1969. And he's been a lifelong Jets fan. 2 years ago, he made a choice. And I was like, because he's not the type that would. He's sort of like a man's man. He's like, yo, F this. F the Jets. I'm done. He's like, I live in L.A. I'm here for, the last 10 plus years. I'm a Chargers guy now. And I'm like, for real? He goes, I like Jim Harbaugh. Justin Herbert's cool. F it. Yo, I'm done with the Jets. I go, really? He's like, yup.
Is that just a conscious decision? You could just start liking things because you decided to? I don't know. There's got to be more to it. I'm thinking about it, Rich. What could really make you jump ship to is your love of certain players, meaning like if you were young enough to appreciate Jordan in the 90s, and let's say you were a kid from New York, you could have easily went from the Knicks to the Bulls because of his superstardom. Shohei Ohtani. He's getting fans all over the world.
What about the people that jump on and they don't stay on? Like, for instance, I jumped on the Niners as a kid because my dad thought Joe Montana, and probably still thinks Joe Montana was the coolest dude ever. So
he wasn't wrong. So as a kid, I could see you saying, hell yeah, he is.
So my dad's like, oh, I love Montana. So do you. He bought me a little Montana jersey. So I was never a front runner. Yeah, they were good, but I was a 5-year-old kid, the same way my son's like Freddie and Mookie. And, I love Montana.
You love Hannah Montana.
I love her too. Miley celebrating 20 years of Hannah Montana next year. See, I know all Montana.
Told you.
So, Cove, Joe Montana was the way that I got into the Niners. And I've loved him through Steve Young, Jeff Garcia, Kaepernick, Jimmy G, Brock Purdy. My dad doesn't love them as much as I do. My dad likes the Niners. But my dad's like, yeah, I loved Montana. Now, like, he does not love him as much as I do.
I said Joe Montana.
Because he caught you at a very easily influential part of your life.
I'm saying that's sort of how some people were like, I love Jordan the Bulls. And then when Jordan retired, they're like, yeah, I guess I like the Bulls, I suppose.
But I'm just trying to think of reasons that you would jump. And a superstar that transcends the game could reel you in, could be the answer.
I don't get maybe it's because I grew up a college football fan where the turnovers every 4 years, but like I don't get this whole rooting for a player and where he goes on the team. Like You either root for the team or you don't. The whole rooting for players thing is a very Gen Z thing to do.
My brother, who's younger than me, was a little influential kid when Mookie Wilson, remember Mookie Wilson? He got traded from the Mets to the Blue Jays. My brother didn't become a Blue Jays fan, but I remember there was a year where he bought a Blue Jays hat, and he's like, I'm with Mookie. And I was like, what, do you like the Blue Jays now? He's like, I love Mookie Wilson.
So,
and listen, I get it. One last thing. I know we're running late, but when I was watching Monday Night Football, Eagles-Chargers, Danny G, it doesn't strike you, being that you're a longtime L.A. guy, when I see all those people, like, emphatically cheering for the Chargers, I almost feel like they're plants, like that woman from a couple years ago, because I'm like, who really likes the Chargers in L.A.? Like, how do you just pick up a team? That's what I get what Covino's saying there.
Rich, how did your buddy go from rooting for the Jets and then rooting for a team who has never won a Super Bowl in the Chargers?
I know.
Like, you actually picked like a team that's like kind of on the same level as the Jets in a lot of ways. I know
there's
they're
a
good
lot of
right
layers here. A lot of layers here.
yeah, I think it has to happen organically. I don't think you could wake up one day and say, you know what? Today's the day I decide to root for.
Go Chargers, go!
Also,
That's weird to me.
Also, Covino, your boy CC Sabathia, a couple of months ago after a bad Raider loss, don't ask me which one, he posted on social media a picture of him, his mom, and sister outside of the Oakland Coliseum back in the day. And he said, I know that wins are really important to all of us, but some things with our teams are more important than wins and losses, like my family and our traditions and everything.
Culture.
All my memories of my family and our team together.
Yeah, that's true, man. And when you have culture like that, like the Raiders fans do, I don't think you could ever jump ship. Look, Rich is prisoner of the moment. It's a sad week. He's got a heavy heart. His doggie's sick.
What am I?
He's losing his players.
My doggie's on her deathbed, and
I
the Mets
know.
are getting rid of all their players. What am I going to do with my Shea Stadium snow globe around the holidays?
Is there ever a reason to leave your team? Pete Alonso's leaving for 5 years, $155 million to the Orioles. So we take your phone calls and your feedback next.
Rich, hold the snow globe and make a wish. Maybe it's like the escape clause, like Santa Claus 3.
Oh, let me do that while I tell you guys all about TCL TVs. Can I wish for a sweet TCL TV for the holidays?
Nice.
Listen, you got that lame-ass TV when people are coming over to watch the game, when people are coming over to watch all the bowl games coming up, all the NFL games where we're entering Week 15. You need a TCL. No weak-ass TV.
Not only that, too, Rich. I bet you, like, all your buddies are calling you out. Like, yeah, Rob's got a weak TV. And you don't even realize it, but that's why no one's showing up.
The QM8K QD mini LEDs, the real MVP. Ultimate brightness, ultimate black levels for the ultimate experience. Picture so clear you could taste the turf.
And it's not just foosball. Hey, we're talking baseball already. I'll be watching Pete Alonso at Camden Yards. And movies look cinematic. Games feel smoother. And yes, your company, everybody that comes over notices.
Here's the play. Holiday savings off select TCL TVs. Go premium, like we said with the QM8K. Brilliant picture, huge sound, the ultimate choice. Or grab the versatile QM6K for an elevated game day experience.
Don't overthink it. Lock in the ultimate experiences with epic savings and undeniable bragging rights all season long. Get it while supplies last.
TCL, official TV partner of the NFL. Find TCL at all major retailers. TCL, bigger, brighter, better holidays. Select models, limited time. See all major retailers for details. The question really is, Drake May is him, or is he? Because we don't quite know. It's the big question today, and I'm here to tell you that I think he is.
Well, keep in mind, you could be prisoner of the moment. You can't deny that the guy is great, but people live in a world of headlines, and people love to say things like, he's the next Tom Brady. I mean, I will admit this. They didn't struggle really that long. Like, they found their guy immediately. It's like a guy who lost his wife and then found another hot one a few years later. It happened really quick. There was no really downtime and down period for the Patriots.
There were some Cam Newton years in there and some
just
other experiments.
a few, but it seems like they are back and in full force again, beating the Jets yesterday to kick off Week 11, 27-14. They're now 9-2.
Well-
but if you read like what people are saying on social media, like Tom Brady was cloned, man. He's Tom Brady. Is he really Tom Brady? Is he him, as the kiddos say, as Rich just said? 877-99 on Fox. That's the question. Plus, there's a whole story about his wife.
Well, here's the thing. When you ask yourself, is Drake May the real deal, essentially? You got to remind yourself, yeah, he was a top-level pick. It's not like he's some guy that's just like, got lucky.
I get it.
You know,
not a surprise, but not everybody pans out either, as you see in the NFL.
People love to say, well, look at their schedule, it's weak. And I will forever hate that argument because you only play who's on your schedule. You can't dictate and be like, we want tougher competition. You play who's on your schedule. And if you think back, Danny G, week 1, the Patriots lost to your Raiders.
Yo, what up, Danny G?
Oh, yeah, Geno Smith looked excellent in that game.
And we thought like, oh, man, Patriots, what a rough week 1. They lost to the Raiders. Then we thought for a minute your Raiders might be good. Since then,
get this.
Since then, this team has gone 9-1.
9-1. Drake May stepped up. And again, they're playing the Jets. 281 yards, 1 tutty, but just looking solid. And the whole team sort of vibes around them. They're 4-2 at home and 9-2 overall. The Patriots are the real deal. Of course, there's the Colts. Of course, there's the Broncos. Of course, there's the Chiefs.
Yeah.
But got to be high on the Patriots. Is he the guy, or are we just really excited that he could be or appears to be or seems to be the next Tom Brady?
Well, in a world where everyone clearly loves to gamble, that's another storyline in the world of sports lately.
He's going to hate that comparison, if not speaking out about it already. It's like filling really big shoes. It's like, let me just be the best Drake May I could be. Because you're never – like being compared to Tom Brady is the worst thing in the world. But it's like – and I hate to give you a Yankee example. It's like who was always going to follow Jeter? That was always a conversation. That's what Volpe's haunted by right now.
Look at the odds right now via DraftKings Sportsbook. Drake May is your favorite to win the MVP. I repeat, Drake May is your favorite to win the MVP. So I look at this as an opportunity to say, what's the better bet? Because Danny G, Dan Byer, I was Sam, our team back in L.A., can we all agree that, like, we're not quite sure that is the result, fast forward the second half of the year? Would you be confident in putting your cash behind Drake May?
All right, yeah. Would you? Narratives change week to week, and you know this because we talk about it. You know, he could all of a sudden have a few bad games, and then we're saying Drake May might be ass. That's just how the sports world works. It's a very fickle fan base. We love to cheer people when they're hot and tear them down when they stink. So we'll see. It's still way early. I mean, even though it's week 11 already. But anything can happen in the next few weeks. Why don't you do what you do best? Schedule watch.
Oh, Sam, I have to do it. Can we schedule watch maybe?
Let's break it down. Let's figure it out.
Oh, boy.
The Rich loves to look at the schedule game.
Schedule watching. Yeah.
That's how you figure it out.
Watching. All right, let's take a look at where the Patriots go from here. Because you could say, all right, well, listen, they're 9-2. They play at the Bengals. That is a winnable game.
Yeah.
10-2. They play Giants in New England. 11-2. They play the Bills. Let's assume the Bills and Pats split. 11-3.
Okay.
The Ravens, who are fighting, right? They're back on track. Maybe 11-4. We'll do that.
Okay. Yeah.
Jets 12-4. Dolphins, who will be probably playing for nothing. This Patriots team could go 13-4, and then you're saying, well, that seems like a possibility that Drake May could be your MVP if he continues to play the way he's been playing. But let me give you the Vegas odds of other guys in the mix.
And he plays some stinkers, padding those numbers, playing the Jets again. And, yeah, so if he keeps it up, that's definitely going to be the conversation. Welcome back to the show. Greatest show in all the land. Covino and Rich on Fox Sports Radio live from the Fox Sports Radio studio. And have you heard about trainer games? Add this to your binge list. 10 athletes go head-to-head for the chance to win an iFit trainer contract worth $250,000. $250,000. Streaming on Prime Video starting January 8th. So look out for that. And thank you for checking us out on YouTube, Covino and Rich FSR. Even if you're listening, watch it later. Covino and Rich FSR. Now, Rich Davis is a very sad Mets fan who lives in L.A. surrounded by Dodgers fans. Even his kids are Dodgers fans. So he's asking, hey, with the Pete Alonso news, when is it okay to jump ship? And we're getting lots of feedback, lots of phone calls. Let me just say that NW Rich on our YouTube chat, Covino and Rich FSR, says it's okay to have a backup team. I'm not sure about that. But Scott for Mayor says you just need to have a quote-unquote side piece team, Rich. Oh. And as a side piece, a la Janice Rossi, Apartment 2R, your Gumad team, do you have one and just don't tell anybody about it? Is that how it works? So you have some joy on the side? But we got some phone calls.
Are you saying the Dodgers, it's okay if they're like my side booty?
Hey, I'm telling you what Scott said. He recommended that, keep it big and discreet.
By the way, I'm not leaving the Mets for the record. I'm not cut from that cloth of being like, yeah, I'm out. I'll stick with this stupid team forever. But I will say, we've seen, I'll give you an example. There's a guy that you and I know from Brooklyn. His name is Vinny. Let me read this, and we're going to get to all the phone calls. Vinny, who you know is the most abrasive Met fan you know.
I know Vinny.
Goes, what the F happened in the last 24 hours? Is it really worth watching this effing dumpster fire for an S-bag organization? I may tap out. This is like a lifer. You know Vinny.
Yeah, he's hardcore Mets. I mean, it's disappointing. It really is. It's a really bad week. You're losing your superstars. And it's extra hurtful when you made all the other moves to make it better. Again, the big Juan Soto deal, for example. But let's go to the phones. 877-99 on Fox, 877-99 on Fox, Covino and Rich. Danny G, who we got?
Another Matt, this time in Georgia.
Hey, Matt.
Yo, what's up, Georgia Matt?
What's up, fellas? Listen, I feel like if you got a side team or a secondary team, you don't even have a team. And this is coming from an Atlanta Falcons, Atlanta Hawks fan. I'm 50 years old. I would have traded him 40 years ago if I could. I just couldn't do it. And I hate to mix two stories together, Covino, but I would give anybody on the team my girl for a championship for either one of those teams. Y'all just go ahead and mull that over.
He would tell wifey to go hang with Michael Penix Jr. if it meant a Super Bowl.
If it meant the Super Bowl.
Covino, crazy enough, our buddy Donnie Pompadour, who listens, he recently said, damn you, Michael Vick, for pulling me into this Falcons team because now I can't. Now, all these years later, they suck.
Now you can't leave.
Yeah.
Who else we got, Danny G?
Let's go to Vegas. Larry.
Hey, Larry. Larry.
What's going on now?
Hey, buddy.
Yo.
Hey, this is what I said. There's a lot of people in Vegas, they're getting passes because we never had a professional NFL team nor a major league team coming. So a lot of people had teams like the Giants or whatever, but now that the Raiders here, they was like, they giving them passes and I'm like, I'm 53, bro. I'm from the old school. I'm a Buffalo Bills, and it's to the casket drop. But you got people in Vegas that are literally think it's okay to jump ship.
Here's the difference,
we
though.
Never had
but Larry's
I respect Larry, dude, but he's rooting for the Bills. The Bills are a great team. What if you root for the Jets and you're in Vegas? Isn't this a perfect pivotal moment to maybe say, maybe it's time? There's some exceptions.
I feel Larry. The reason I'm staying with the Mets, no matter what, is because I feel what Larry said. When you see Vegas Raiders fans or, like I said, Chargers fans in L.A., it's like, what did you do a couple of years ago? Now all of a sudden you're like, go Justin Herbert. It feels fugazi.
You had to be rooting for a weak-ass team. You had to be. But, that is a unique situation that I'd have to hear you out. I'm not a fan of leaving your team, but I'd have to hear that one out. Who else we got, Danny G?
Let's go to Charlotte, and it's Tracy.
Tracy, what's up?
Hey guys. Love your show. First-time caller, long-time listener. And I think everybody's fan experience can be defined by them. They just have to deal with whatever the consequences of their decisions. So I changed teams. I grew up 49ers fan, New York Mets fan. When I moved to Charlotte in 1996, my first time I ever lived in a city with a football team. I grew up in a small town with picked the 49ers because of Joe Montana and because somebody gave me a jersey when I was 5 years old. And I chose, conscious decision, to embrace this team that was local. They were brand new. I think it was the year after they started. And I have lived with those Panthers for 30 years, and it has been a lot of good times and mostly miserable times.
Man, you remind us of our friend Drew in Nashville. You guys know our bud Drew Mack. Covino, he's a lifelong Colts fan, but he lives in Nashville, and he sort of runs things in Nashville. His kids love the Titans. Listen, not that they're good this year, but he had season tickets to the Titans, and he's like, I know they're in the same division, so it's even more wonky, but he has a soft spot for the Titans. It happens.
All right, so I do have a final thought, Jerry Springer style. We got one more phone call on this, but first, an update from the great Dan Byer.
Guys, the huge news breaking within the last hour or so is that the University of Michigan has fired head football coach Sharon Moore after 2 seasons.
Wow.
Michigan Athletic Director Ward Manuel releasing a statement saying that Moore was terminated with cause as there is credible evidence that Moore had an inappropriate relationship with a staff member. Moore went 15-8 during his 2 seasons at Michigan. Biff Poggi is expected to take over as the interim head coach as Michigan will be playing in the Citrus Bowl on New Year's Eve against Texas. But again, Sharon Moore out after 2 seasons at Michigan, with the school saying it is with cause. The Baltimore Orioles and former Mets slugger Pete Alonso agreeing on that 5-year deal worth $155 million. Colts officially signed Phillip Rivers today. Was asked how the family was with the decision.
They've been very supportive. I think my younger children are most excited. They're excited because they don't remember Dad playing. My 6-year-old actually asked me like 4 months ago, like, Dad, why don't you play anymore? And I'm like, hon, I'm sorry. Best you're going to get is me coaching on the sideline, But I think share the same sentiment. A little nervous, like, Dad, do you think you can do it?
Now, Riley Leonard was a full participant in practice today. No word on if Rivers will play in Week 15 against the Seahawks. Commanders quarterback Jaden Daniels out against the Giants. Geno Smith of the Raiders likely to miss their game with the Eagles because of a shoulder injury. Kenny Pickett would be in line to start. And Buccaneers wide receiver Mike Evans activated from IR. He's expected to play tomorrow, despite being listed as questionable as they face the Falcons. Every Olympic dream starts with a first glide. Through Learn to Skate USA, kids build confidence, strength, and joy on the ice. Learn to Skate USA offers programs for skaters of all ages and abilities. Find a program near you at learntosskateusa.com. The NFL draft changing the format of the first round, while basically saying instead of 10 minutes, teams will have 8 minutes to make their first round picks. That starts in Pittsburgh coming up next spring. Guys, back to you.
Thank you, Dan Byer.
Covino, hearing Dan Byer's update and just hearing Pete Alonso to the Orioles, it just doesn't – it seems sort of like not real. But you know what? What does it also say that, like I said, the 2 big stars that left, Diaz didn't come back for the counteroffer, the, quote, wiggle room, and Pete Alonso gets the offer from the Orioles and doesn't even entertain. Like, Scott Boras doesn't even sit down with Cohen and Stearns. Like, what does that tell you what's going on within the Mets?
That things ain't right. I mean, it does. The writing's there. And, Rich, I'm hoping to get a little wiggle room in our next Fox Sports Radio contract. It sounds fun. All right, so, like I said, a Jerry Springer final thought and the rest of your phone calls, plus midweek major and more right here on Fox Sports Radio, Covino and Rich. What's the show without a Brady mention?
I mean, TB12, he's the man. Can't deny it. But he pulled a move that I'm torn on.
This is a Pet Cemetery
I
move.
feel like while we talk about it, I'm going to work out
how I really feel because I've found myself going back and forth on this one because I have a dog. You have a dog. Danny, you guys got a pet?
Yeah, a cat and a dog.
Hey, yo, Derek. Mookie with Mookie. Mookie Betts, he's my dog. Hey, Derek.
Thanks, Poppy.
Hey, my dog. You my dog.
I was saying, you got a pet? I feel like you got a ferret. Do you have a
We
ferret?
talked about this. He shares a custody of a pet with his ex.
I have a
remember?
rent-a-doggy, but I would very much like to keep him around forever.
We all love our pets. If you're a pet owner, of course you love your pet. In fact, my dog is very old and unfortunately will not be around for much longer, and I know that.
Will Smith is my dog.
So I just
I
know
mean, it
that-
breaks my heart because I know
Yeah.
your dog so well.
Yeah, and it's like,
and I love her.
It's a bummer. I have a 12-and-a-half-year-old French bulldog. That's the equivalent of a 100-year-old person. So I know that my wife and I say, come on, let's get one more Christmas. Like, it's an old dog.
She still plays, though. She was playing with her toys when I was over at your house. She loves life still.
She also fell off the couch and almost died.
Yeah, she fell off the couch and almost
It's elderly related, yeah.
like an old person falling. We just had a friend, one of the kids at school, their best friend, lost their dog last week. And when you realize your dog is not going to be around forever, do you pull the Tom Brady if you have the money? I looked this up. They're saying this is like a $50,000 to $100,000 starting point.
Well, you know what I'm not buying here? If you listen closely to Isaac Lowenkron's news alert, his news update, which you never do, Rich, because you're too busy babbling yourself, he said something along the lines of Tom Brady paid $100,000 to clone his dog, but he's partners in this company, this biotech lab facility.
And he doesn't exactly have a great track record when it comes to investments, FTX crypto.
Yeah, but if you're a partner in this company, you really think he paid $100,000? He didn't get the company discount, or is this just good promo? If you're part of this company, you're not saying, hey, Tom, we'll do it for free. Just tell everybody about it. Tom Brady paid diddly squat to get this done, and you heard it from me. There's no way he paid $100,000.
That way, like, any pet lover's like, wait a minute, Tom Brady did what?
That's just what it costs, and they want everyone to know. If you
How can
want
I
it done,
do it?
This is how much it costs.
Well,
even Tom Brady paid. He's in the company. He paid nothing.
Well, I'll tell you what, towards the end of a dog's life, the vet bills might as well add up to that. So let me ask you, would you clone your pet? Covino, you've never really been that much of a pet lover, and then you got your dog Theo. Every day when you're sitting there watching the Yankees game or Love is Blind or whatever dumb stuff you're watching, your dog's sitting there with you.
That's right.
You told me it's the first pet you've actually really appreciated.
It's my dog. Well, I do have a dog, and I guarantee
Fool
you
me
my
once.
my girlfriend would want to clone him. She loves him that much.
And don't you think that part of the enjoyment of loving animals and having a lot of pets is they all have their own, personalities?
Right.
Why would you want the next pet to be so much like the last pet you had?
I get it because you love that dog so much.
Yeah,
I'm
but wouldn't it
imagining
be
maybe-
creepy if it's just kind of like your last dog?
But here's my question. Isn't there something beautiful about having a pet? And as the old saying goes, they're just a little part of your life, but you're their whole life, which is really sentimental and corny and loving when you think about it, right? Like you're their whole life, but they are just a fun little chapter of yours. Your dog lives 10, 12, 15 years. Isn't there something to be said about that's a beautiful chapter that you close the book on, and then you get a different puppy? And, remember when we had a little poodle? Now we got a golden retriever. Now we got a French bulldog. You may have multiple pets throughout your life. To carbon copy your pet just seems like I don't know, you're living in the past. Like there's a party that's like, time to move on,
And
weirdo.
where does this stop?
Yeah,
if
I
they're
made up my
able to
mind.
do this,
So-
are you going to clone grandma just because you
Yeah.
loved her? Like,
And-
where does
but-
this go?
And she may not come back as grandma. She'd have to live the exact life that your grandma
Dude,
lived.
I-
She'd just be a carbon copy with a different personality.
Told you I would find my way once we talked about it. Now it's like, we always say you watch a fight, you don't know who you're rooting for. Then the minute the fight starts, you realize who you're rooting for. I was like, that's sort of cool. The more I'm thinking about it, chapters of life, who your neighbors are, what apartment or house you lived in, what job you had, what car you drive. That would be like saying, I'm going to have the same exact car, same color, same model over and over and over and over and every time your lease is up or every 5 to 10 years, I'm going to get the same exact car. You have to mix up life.
Well, the holidays came early for the Dodgers. Seems like the Dodgers had a little more wiggle room. And
Diaz didn't even come back. He didn't even come back to see what the wiggle room was.
That's okay because they're all dancing at Dodger Stadium to Two in a Room. Wiggle it just a little bit because they're going to the World Series again with Edwin Diaz. And, of course, Pete Alonso is also gone today. So I'm Covino. That is Rich, the sad Mets fan. Danny G, Sam. Spotty's getting ready for midweek major. Dan Byers here. And it's time for our tire rack play of the day. It was all Knicks in Toronto.
Towns top of the key, met by Pirtle, who is ready for the trailer 3. Make the hand off to Bridges. Lane opens up on the left side, and he stuffs it with the right hand. Karl Anthony Towns mugging for the camera underneath the left side basket.
New York advances in the Cup quarterfinal and now take on Orlando in the semifinals. That's courtesy of Knicks Radio Network, and that was our Tire Rack play of the day. For over 40 years, Tire Rack's been helping customers find the right tires for how, what, and where they drive. Shipped fast and free, backed by free road hazard protection with convenient installation options like mobile tire installation. TireRack.com, the way tire buying should be.
Man, there's some sad Knicks and Mets fan out there being like, well, I guess at least the Knicks are still in the Cup. The Cup. Oh, embarrassing.
Well, Rich, the question based on Alonso now leaving, Diaz and Alonso left the Mets this week. It's tough. I think, here's my prediction. If the question is, when's it okay to leave your team? You're an old school sort of guy. And you have an old school way of thinking. And I feel like our generation was a little more loyal. But today, these pros ain't loyal. These pros are not loyal. They jump ship, and they played for those teams. As this younger generation comes up, you think they're going to be loyal to teams. They're not loyal to their own relationships. They're not loyal to their own marriages. How fickle are young people in today's life, in today's world of dating? Someone gave you the ick because they jumped over a puddle funny and you broke up with them? You think those type of people care about loyalty? I think based on this, based on the way sports is moving, we're going to see this happening more and more often. There's no loyalty when it comes to this stuff moving forward.
Could I wrap it up by saying just over the last 20 years I've seen that sentiment because your brother, who's 30-year-old dude, your younger brother, significantly younger, he'll wear like an A's hat because he's like, yo, it's green and it matches my sneakers. Dude, I like the A's, I guess. He'll wear other teams' apparel because it looks cool. You would never.
Never. Look, Lisa even said loyalty is a dying trait in general. So as these younger people come up, that means nothing to them. They're like, yeah, I like the Yankees, but I also like this team. Or I like the Yankees, but they got rid of my favorite player, so now I like the Mets. Like, I think based on the mindset of younger people on their come up, it's going to be more and more common as time goes on.
All right, well, we're going to get to a lot of NFL and football for the rest of the show, but Covino, final thought. Are you shocked that Pete Alonso didn't even for maybe even optics, at least hear the Mets out? Is that weird to you? I think it's odd that he didn't even hear them out.
Yeah, that just goes to show you that his mind was set. His mind was made up already. Danny G, we got one more call?
Yeah, let's wrap it with Michael in Canada. He's calling from Montreal.
Jumping ship, Mike. What's up?
How you guys doing? A huge fan of your show. Love what you do.
Appreciate it, man.
Oh, dude, thank you, man. I watched that Expos documentary, and I'm sure you're probably going to talk a little Expos, right?
No, believe it or not, I'm not. I'm heartbroken that the team's been gone. It's crazy that we even had one here. Drive by the stadium all the time. It's probably the ugliest building in our fair city. But I grew up. When I was 9 years old, my mom brought me to a sports store and bought me a hat out of a discounted bin, a corduroy purple hat with a Minnesota Vikings logo on it. And I've been a Vikings fan for the last 45 years because of it. And,
that's wild. Yeah.
You know, they break my heart every year. It's getting worse by the day here this year. And I always joke with my buddies, if ever you need Vikings gear and you can't find it online, call me up because I've got it all. But I don't know what to do now. You know, I'm stuck with this team forever. My kids have got the affliction, and they all make fun of me for it.
Yo,
Hey,
Cove, let me ask you.
man.
I thought he was going to go Expos. Let's say you are a dude in Montreal or a woman in Montreal. The Expos leave. Are you a Nationals fan, or are you
they,
like,
they
well,
force you out. That was reason to leave. Yeah, sometimes there's unique situations. That's definitely a classic one. So next hour, Rich, midweek major, the biggest stories in sports and pop culture. Mike's Wednesday words of wisdom. We got prizes to give away, and Rich is going to cry more about his Mets.
and we'll talk some Phillip Rivers. So hang tight. More CNR next.
It's Covino and Rich on Fox Sports Radio. Are you ready?
Yes! We talk about pop culture, we talk about sports, we talk about life.
It's a friendship on the radio. When you talk about the best athlete in the world, you're probably thinking Jim Thorpe, right?
I'm thinking Bo Jackson.
I'd have to throw myself at the age of 12 into the conversation.
You are the home run champion. When you find the commonality between sports and life, those analogies and conversations are the best. You were dating some girl, and you were like, "Hey, babe, let's watch The Sixth Sense." Her mom walked in. "Can you believe he was dead the whole time?"
I wanted to get up.
Well, slow down, Dana White.
I don't want to say It's never boring.
If the Chiefs win.
Sorry, Patrick Mahomes here. What do you mean by if the Chiefs win? Our friendship is real. It's authentic. You can't fake the funk.
We're the type of guys you'd want to hang out with at a sports bar. Best way to pick someone up at a bar?
Yeah.
Go up to a cute girl and say, "Oh, look at that bozo over there," and I point to you. We could make fun of each other, poke each other a little bit.
I call him Blubber Lips, Rich Davis, because he never stops talking.
He thinks he's the Mexican Fonz.
Yeah.
At any point, he's wearing a chain. You have a chain on?
Always.
Of course he has a chain on.
That's like asking me if I'm wearing cologne right now. Of course I am. I take a lot of pride in being inclusive and interactive on our show. Just the more the merrier.
Josh, Covino thinks that every man should own a leather jacket.
I only wear vegan leather.
Can you believe this guy?
I can't believe this guy. We have a very special connection with our audience, our listeners. People feel that friendship.
And I appreciate y'all show. I love it.
It's all for you. Thank you.
Mike Tyson, Covino, loves to just challenge us with random Mike Tyson trivia.
Which accomplished celebrity purchased my sprawling Connecticut estate?
I'm going to go 50 Cent.
You are absolutely correct. 50 Cent. I love his song.
You can't schedule a big event during a big sports moment.
My family member scheduled their wedding the same night as a Julio Cesar Chavez fight. Everyone was glued to that fight instead of doing the electric slide.
This is weak.
Unbelievable. You're very tricky.
America, you got sports, you got fun, you got us.
Covino and Rich.
We're crushing it.
It's breaking news in college football as Sharon Moore has been fired as the head football coach at the University of Michigan. Athletic Director Ward Manuel released a statement saying that Moore was dismissed after 2 seasons with cause, as they have credible evidence that Moore had an inappropriate relationship with a staff member. The Wolverines face Texas in the Citrus Bowl coming up on New Year's Eve. Assistant Biff Poggi will take over as the interim head coach. He served in the interim role as Moore served a 2-game suspension earlier this season. Baltimore Orioles and former Mets slugger Pete Alonso have agreed on a 5-year deal worth $155 million. Phillip Rivers officially signed with the Colts. Colts rookie quarterback Riley Leonard was a full participant in practice today. No word if Rivers will play Sunday against Seattle in Week 15. Commanders quarterback Jaden Daniels out against the Giants. Geno Smith of the Raiders not likely to face the Eagles, as Kenny Pickett would be in line to start that contest. I'm Dan Beyer.
Hey, that's us. Good day. I said good day. Let's try to have a good one. I know it's tough for you, Rich.
Wishing upon my Met Chase Stadium snow globe, do something.
Oh, no. There you
We
go.
suck again.
We are broadcasting live from the Fox Sports Radio studio. Sesame Street has helped raise all of us. Now it's our turn. Donate this holiday season at sesame.org because the world needs Sesame and Sesame needs you. I'm Steve Covino. That is Rich Davis. And we're looking for contestants at 877-99 on Fox. We got Mike's Wednesday Words of Wisdom this hour and more. But first, we rock out. And Rich, as I sip on my soda here, I see this picture of Santa Claus. Can I shamelessly promote something I was surprised to see on Disney Plus yesterday?
Oh, yeah.
They have the Toys That Built America on Disney Plus, and I'm part of that series, Season 3. So the Toys That Built America, Season 3, Episode 8, there's an episode called The Santa That Built America, and it's the history of Santa Claus. And your boy, me, I'm on it. Talking about it, spreading the holiday cheer. Yeah, I'm talking about Santa, and I give you the history and evolution of Christmas, and it's on Disney Plus, Season 3, Episode 8 of The Toys That Built America. But get this. This is for the adults in the family, all right? Tell the kiddies to watch Rudolph later on.
All right, don't watch with the kids, but Covino is a Santa expert. What does this guy not know?
Dude, Santa, I was always number 1 on his list. I got a thing with Santa. I was one of his favorites always. Again, I'm Covino.
I feel like Santa gave me early coal in my stocking in the form of, later Edwin Diaz and later Pete Alonso.
Oh, seriously. That's Rich Davis. Danny G's on the phones at 877-99 on Fox, our super producer. Battling the cold, but getting better. We got Iowa Sam, we got Dan Beyer, we got Spot getting ready for Midweek Major, the biggest stories in sports and pop culture. We decide if they're midweek or major. Now, again, looking for contestants. If you want to play this game, it's called Mike's Wednesday Words of Wisdom. Mike runs this place, and he always struts around, spreading his old guy wisdom. Who's older, by the way, Phillip Rivers or Mike who runs this place?
No, I was going to say Ebenezer Scrooge, Mike, or Phillip Rivers. Mike's got wisdom, and hopefully you learn something. So if you want to play, all you got to do is repeat his ridiculous words of wisdom verbatim, word for word, and you win a prize. It's that simple. And speaking of Phillip Rivers, Cove,
yeah,
I love the viral video of – it's not a video. It's just the meme of Phillip Rivers' new headshot for the Colts, and it's Joe Biden.
Oh, man. Yeah, there's so many old guy jokes going around. And, I mean, he's a grandpa. I'm watching him at the press conference right now talking about how his wife and kids are a little concerned and nervous, but he's real excited. Dude, the last time he played, we were talking about COVID, and that's the last time they made the playoffs with Phillip Rivers. He's in good position to do it again. It's an interesting story. I'll leave it at that. I'm excited to see where it goes, but we'll be talking more about him this hour.
I do want to say, Cove, that if you are a Colts fan, I'm not saying all is not lost. I still think it's going to be an uphill battle. You got the Seahawks, then you have the Niners. You're playing a bunch of good teams with maybe Phillip Rivers. But Drake May, the guy we've been talking about, possible MVP candidate, he's saying that he trained with Phillip Rivers within the last year, and Phillip Rivers is beating him in throwing competitions. Like, don't sleep on the fact that Phillip Rivers has stayed prepared. He's coaching his kid. He's at the high school field throwing and running drills all the time. So it's not like Phillip Rivers has been sitting on the couch scratching his ass eating potato chips.
When you say he's been coaching his kid, apparently Rivers ran the same exact offense as the Colts for his kid's high school team. So yeah, he's like extra familiar with the offense. He's been running it as a high school coach. So now we see him in the NFL. All right, so the phones are lighting up at 877-99 on Fox. We do it every Wednesday. Mike has wisdom. He has words. You have to remember and repeat verbatim. And if you do, you win a football, a la Phillip Rivers. All right, let's hear it.
It's time for the guy that runs this place.
Just for clarification, guys, Big Mike does not run this place. He is not in charge of everything. He has no power over really anybody here. He does not run this place.
It's Big Mike's Words of Wisdom on a Wednesday.
When making dinner for your children, it doesn't have to be fancy, just edible and not on fire.
That's pretty wise of Mike to make sure the kiddies are safe. So if you could repeat that verbatim, you win a prize. Simple as that. And if you're busy, you can't call in right now, there's other ways. Follow our YouTube page, Covino and Rich FSR. Say some nice things. Get Danny G's attention. If he emails you, you get a prize. Or just follow the podcast. Leave a nice review. Covino and Rich, wherever you stream your podcasts. So we'll take some
Those
phone
are his
calls.
words of wisdom, by the way?
Yeah, why? You weren't feeling it?
Oh, no, I'm saying, like, when a TV show gets renewed and they're like, oh, we never thought beyond this. Did Mike think beyond doing this a few weeks?
I don't know. I mean, or maybe it's so wise it's just over our heads,
Maybe so.
Whoa. Like
do
maybe
you
there's
want to
something
hear
more
it
to
one
it.
last time?
Yeah, sure. Maybe
guess
there's
so.
a deeper meaning that's going right past us.
When making dinner for your children, it doesn't have to be fancy, just edible and not on fire.
That's pretty easy, I think. Come
I
on.
don't think there's anything deep to that.
For a great stocking stuffer, a CNR on FSR, brand new Super Grip, Turbo Grip Nerf football. Your chance to win now if you could repeat it verbatim. And while we get the phone calls, Danny G's on the phones. Rich, have you seen this clip of Mad Dog? Speaking of old guys, Mad Dog. Hey, Covino and Rich, my guys!
And speaking of Phillip Rivers, one last thought. I was thinking about, you said the last time he played was COVID. There's been so many NFL player experiments that have come and gone since Phillip Rivers actually played. Like Trey Lance on the Niners, Zach Wilson. There have been storylines that have started and finished since he played. So 5 years in the league is a long time.
Well, hold that thought, because if we have time, maybe we'll talk about things that have happened since then. There's a lot of time in between there.
No doubt.
So that's the last time they made the playoffs. Congrats on, staying in shape and taking that risk and prolonging your Hall of Fame, NFL Hall of Fame eligibility, because that resets. Now, I mentioned Mad Dog Russo. Now, keep in mind, we worked with that guy for years. We were fans of his growing up. So anything we say respectfully. There's a clip of him. I can't see what court he's on, but he's either on a professional basketball court or a college court.
He's at ASU.
Oh, it's ASU? He's at an ASU.
I'm at ASU!
He's at an ASU. He's on the ASU basketball court, and he's taking shots. Basketball shots. And
that shot looked like ASS.
Yeah, he's taking – that's a good one. Man, that was ass.
Woo!
And Dan Orlovsky, his colleague at ESPN – actually posted it, and he said, man, this is awful. I think the quote was, this is awful. And it's Mad Dog doing his old guy dribble. Bob Cousy! He's doing his best Bob Cousy dribble and then shot. And he looks so terrible. You know how Dan Patrick...
He does one crossover, double dribbles a couple times, and then, throws the ball up with one arm.
Dude, he does the double dribble. I believe there's a promo that runs here often on Fox Sports Radio about Dan Patrick and his crew being the worst when it comes to, living a life of sports but being the worst athletes. Something along those lines. I think Mad Dog Russo takes the cake because he has no form. What is that? And again, it's all in fun. And, he's in his 60s, so who knows where we'll be.
But look at it again. So he starts by dribbling, crossover, 3 steps, dribbles again.
Travels,
so here's
misses completely, air ball.
Almost falls at the end, too.
Almost falls. Everything about it was funny.
Here's a question I have for you guys. Is it funny and just Mad Dog's a great sport, which he is, right?
Of course he is.
Or would you not expose yourself like that? Meaning, if you're a guy that talks about sports for a living and you're known to be like that guy, and you're on the radio or TV or podcast criticizing athletes,
it's one thing, Rich. It's one thing to be a good sport, right? And props to Mad Dog. But I live by the words of Marvelous Marvin Hagler, where it's never let him see a sweat, and that applies in several different ways in my mind. Meaning, you know how many women I disappointed in my life because they saw me try to dance? Because in their mind, I'm this Latino guy. I must have some salsa moves, and those salsa moves might translate in the bedroom. And let's say I just went goofy a little bit at a party or something, and they see how I really move. Man, I basically canceled myself out of their mind because I exposed myself. So, based on that, I'm saying you don't always go for it. I don't think you expose yourself in that way. You keep the fantasy alive. If you know your skill set and you know what you're good at and what you're not good at, you lean into what you're good at.
Perfect. I'm glad you said this because I have 2 examples in our show's history where for one time I thought our video guy Spot was spitefully sabotaging.
Let's hear it.
We were at the MLB All-Star festivities.
Yeah.
And you and I were doing some BP in a batting cage.
Mm-hmm.
I was ripping line drive. One pitch, I lunged and missed it. He posts on Instagram 2 swings. One of them is the one I missed. I'm like, did you do that on purpose? And I know for a fact we did an event once at Top Golf. And you admit you're not much of a golfer. I'm not saying I'm Tiger Woods, but you don't want to post your weak ass golf swing, do you?
No. I don't even want to let anyone know how bad I am. So it's not that I'm the guy who doesn't participate. I want to participate in things that I'm good at, right? I want to magnify and lean into the things that show me in a good light, not the things that make me look lame. And I think this makes Mad Dog look like a good sport, but it also makes him look very lame because he's a guy that built a career in sports. That's the other side.
Yeah, but talking about it, he could say, I just talk about him, I don't play him.
I mean, he pulls a hamstring, he travels, he throws an air ball, he almost falls. There's so many things going on in this clip that's gone viral.
Why not at least use both your hands and arms to push the ball off your chest?
He throws it like a football pass. I just watched it.
Danny G, look at the last second. Covino's right. Thank God, for Mad Dog's sake, because he's a good dude. Thank God he does it. It looks like he almost pulls an Achilles at the end.
Yeah.
He's got some tight hammies there.
It looks like a sniper shot him.
Yeah. No, it really does. And knowing him, it's even funnier. And he is a funny guy, so I get it. And clearly not taking himself too serious in this moment. Or maybe when you get older, Rich, you stop caring about how you're perceived in that way.
I don't care for the most part, but our video guy Spot, do you remember what I'm talking about? Because you got all snippy with me. I remember this. It was at the All-Star game this past summer. We were hanging with MLB. We had a great relationship and still do with Major League Baseball. We went to the Fan Fest, and we did a little VIP tour. Covino and I took about 50 swings each. I probably missed 1 ball, and that was part of the clip you posted. And you were like, who cares?
I mean, there was a lot of stuff to process, but I sent it through AI to get the best shot, and that's what it gave me back.
AI
so
gave you the worst.
I'm going to blame it. I'm going to blame artificial intelligence on this one.
Yo, but Sam, I'm not even joking. I'm not saying I'm I'm no Pete Alonso, new Baltimore
No, he
Oriole.
took your one low light out of 49
honestly,
highlights.
Yo, Sam, I'm in the cage ripping
They're
long
worth
drive.
that.
Long drive.
Sam, they're worth that many.
Okay.
Bro,
This is hilarious.
I lunged one time and hit like a little, a foul ball or missed it. And Spot's like, that's the one that makes our sizzle reel.
That'll do.
So the question based on this fun viral video of Chris Mad Dog Russo, our old pal and colleague, who's 66 for the record and still bringing it.
I like that he posted it.
Yeah, do you go for it or do you not expose yourself? Because not exposing yourself sometimes makes you appear to be like a stick in the mud and no fun, and I get that. I'm accused of that a lot too. But I'd rather sit it out than give people ammunition to make fun of me about,
I have a question.
Yeah.
When you think of social media.
And then I'm disappointing myself at the same time.
I know the sentiment, Covino, is that, hey, listen, don't take social media serious. It's all BS. In fact, what do you tell younger kids? You probably tell your teenage daughter, hey, Melody, social media is other people's highlight reel. It's not real life. They're only posting the good moments. They're posting the picture of them on date night where they're all looking all beautiful. They're not picturing them having a fight with their boyfriend in pajamas.
You know what she says when I say that? She takes her headphone out and says, "Would you say that?" And I say nothing. Go back to your nonsense.
And I bring that up because I wonder if there's something authentic about throwing the real you out there. I saw our buddy Rob Parker bowling in New York City.
But isn't the real you like things you lean into?
Yeah, but all right, Rob, right? Rob's a good friend of ours.
Yeah.
But I can't say I didn't notice that he posted a video of him bowling. And he got like a 6 on it. Was like I would want to post a strike.
Strike.
But then again, am I thinking? Am I caring too much? Like,
No,
Would
no.
you want to, Danny? Would you want to post you throwing a 6?
Of course not, but as you mentioned, you can't take yourself too seriously. But your story about your swing and miss, it reminds me of a famous Ben Maller story. His listeners still torture him over this. He had a meet and greet in Minnesota, and the venue he held it at, they had the axe throwing. And a listener filmed him, and he swears it's the only miss he had. This axe that Maller throws bounces and ricochets all over the place. It almost kills a listener. And to this day, he's like, I swear I was good at it. That was the one bad throw I had.
Mom, look, I just did it. Oh, now you're
Danny,
watching. I can't do it.
Danny, how do you think? I'm being serious because we're pals with him, and I know it haunts him. We worked at SiriusXM for decades, right? How do you think Baba Booey feels that he's been a radio producer for 30, 40 years for Howard Stern, maybe the most famous producer in old school radio, right? That one of the things you first think of is Baba Booey, Gary Delabate's first pitch that sucked.
A lifelong Mets guy, too, like baseball fan. He's a hardcore baseball fan.
Like 50 Cent. You might be thinking, the documentary maker from Netflix about Diddy. No, I'm thinking the guy that can't throw first pitch.
Yeah, I don't want to be embarrassed like that. And again, like if it's axe throwing and I'm not good at it and I never expected to be good at it, I care a little less. Something that I was once pretty decent at and now I stink at, I'll pass on that.
And
so your thoughts, again, the question is, do you go for it or do you never expose yourself in that way? But right now, Rich, we got to see if we got a winner, okay?
Okay, cool. Let's get a winner, and then I want to tie it into one other quick thought before we get to midweek major. Who do we got, Danny?
All right, the first listener through is Craig in Pennsylvania.
Craig, what's up, bud?
Hey, how are you guys doing?
You want to repeat the words of wisdom or what? Let's win a prize for the holidays.
Sure.
All right, Craig, let the music marinate. Whenever you're ready.
Okay, so what exactly am I doing? But that's I've never played this, so it's like
It's okay. You just need to repeat back what Big Mike's words of wisdom were, verbatim.
I don't think he's gonna know.
I think he's exposing himself.
yeah, this isn't going the way. I'm sorry, this isn't going the way I thought it would.
Hey, that's life. Hey,
Yeah, he just exposed himself. He's a bonehead. He called up the radio and had no idea why.
I think you wanted to be like, Patrick Mahomes. You know,
Right, you know what? Call back on
Tuesday.
Tuesday for Mahomes trivia.
Appreciate
Maybe
you, man.
last one standing on Monday.
Well, Craig, now that you know how the game goes, try next Wednesday.
Yeah, you repeat
Craig.
Mike word for word. It's pretty simple.
Thank you for trying. John in Illinois is up next.
Hey, John. Thank you, Craig.
Yeah, I was going to say, give Craig a big thank you because you can't look bad at all now. What's up? Go ahead. Let's hear this.
When making dinner for your children, it doesn't have to be anything fancy, just edible and not on fire.
Oh, what?
Sorry.
He stumbled it. He fumbled it.
Gotta be verbatim. Gotta be verbatim.
You sounded so good.
Yeah, you were so
too.
confident.
Yeah, it sounded great. I love
like
the
that
delivery,
guy, too.
but
Too
you
many
missed
words
the
in there.
word. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry, man. Who else do we got, Danny G? 877-99 on Fox. Verbatim to win the CNR Nerf Turbo Grip Football.
All right. Up third is Jim in Boise.
Jim, come on.
Hey, so when you're cooking,
My goodness.
This isn't that hard, and we played it twice.
Should we define what verbatim means?
Verbatim means word for word.
This is not a long one.
Yeah, okay, yeah, there you go.
All right, is this the last? No, we get 5 chances, right? All right, one more. Let's go another one. Round 4. Covino and Rich. Mike's Wednesday words of wisdom for a prize. Hey, we're just trying to give back to you for the holidays.
All right. Rick in Kansas is up next.
Hey, Rick in Kansas, let it breathe and let's go.
When making dinner for your kids, it doesn't have to be fancy.
Man, the controversy.
We're about to strike out here.
The plot thickens because this is the last and final round for a prize.
Yeah, we'll have to do that on the other side.
All right, we'll do it on the other side. Who could repeat it verbatim for a stocking stuffer, the coveted brand new Nerf football? We'll get to it next. Plus, we'll continue with go for it or don't expose yourself. And midweek major, Rich. We got to get to midweek major.
All right, all next right here. CNR on Fox Sports Radio. Now, quick timeout.
Timeout.
Holiday upgrade check. Are you still watching games on an old, weak-ass TV? Well, if so, people are making fun of you behind your back. I can tell you that. No one wants to go to your house to watch a game. And when people cancel plans last minute, I know why.
Yeah, your TV shouldn't tap out in the red zone. TCL's QM8K QD Mini LED is the real MVP. Ultimate brightness, ultimate black levels for the ultimate experience. It's like Shohei, it's like Judge. It's the real MVP, bro. Picture so clear, you can almost taste the turf.
Yeah, it's not just football. You could be watching Christmas movies with the family. You could, I said this the other day to you. Gamers, think about what a crystal clear TCL would do if you're a gamer. Jeez. Here's the play. Holiday savings off select TCL TVs going on right now. Go premium with the QM8K. That's brilliant picture, huge sound, the ultimate choice. Or grab the versatile QM6K for the elevated game day experience.
Don't overthink it. Lock in the ultimate experiences with epic savings and undeniable bragging rights all season long. Get it while supplies last.
TCL, official TV partner of the NFL. Find TCL at all major retailers. TCL, bigger, brighter, better holidays, select models, limited time. See all major retailers for details.
I feel like there's something getting in the way of us acknowledging Austin Reeves as a superstar.
Honestly, it's the most obvious observation, which would be an obvious observation. But could it be that he's just such an unassuming superstar? Like, he's such a goober, such a aw shucks kind of guy that
can
he
say it.
doesn't
Say
get
it,
the
dude.
credit he deserves.
Just say out loud what everyone's thinking.
I'm just
He's
saying,
like a goofy-looking white guy.
Yeah, maybe that's what gets in his way because the stats are showing otherwise. The stats are saying he's on his way. He's on his way to superstardom. He's on his way to being a bigger star. He already should be that guy because he's got the numbers and he's on the Lakers. He's in LA. He's playing with Luka and maybe tonight with LeBron. Like he should already be that guy, but he's taking like a slow burn to the mountaintop.
You just said it. You said it. I'll give you the analogy as our show intro said. I could somehow turn an analogy. What was it? Micah Parsons and sweaters? How about this? The Bachelor and Austin Reeves.
Okay.
You ever watch The Bachelor? Might have got stuck watching with the girlfriend or wife.
Unfortunately, yes.
And you see all these girls on the show.
Ooh.
And in their hometown, they're the hottest. Ooh. Every dude gives them attention. Ooh, she's from Salt Lake City. She's from Austin. She's from Nashville. In their town, oh my God, everyone's sweating them, drooling over them. But then when you put them in a room with 25 other hot girls, it's like pageant life. They're all hot. So you better step it up. And I think Austin Reeves is just in a room with Luka, LeBron. He was in a room with Anthony Davis. L.A. and the Lakers, stars.
I don't even know if it's that. Actually, that's a great analogy, so I'm not dumping on it. It's actually a solid analogy. Maybe he's just not sexy enough for L.A., and he has to put up circus numbers to really get their attention.
So you think
when
he needs a glow up? You think he needs an Austin Reeves L.A. glow up?
A regular-looking guy, regular fella, and that's what makes him extra charming and I think more dangerous because people don't expect that from this guy. But like I said, the numbers say otherwise. Check this out.
Are you saying that he is wearing Adam Sandler shorts to the gym when he should be wearing like Aloe or Lululemon or something?
Yeah, he needs a glow up. Get this.
Okay, let's hear it.
Austin Reeves has the second most 25-point games by a Laker guard since 2000. Only Kobe had more. Second only to Kobe is unreal.
Kobe.
So Reeves is now in serious company. But he has to be at Kobe level to start getting this recognition. Yeah, everybody knows he's got game. Everybody knows he's what did they describe him as earlier? Like he's a bad man kind of. I forget how he was described, but on the court they know he's great, but the world needs to recognize. And then
I'm telling you, there's a sense of he's a gooberish white guy, and I think people compare him to like Caruso for some reason, or like
because he's white. Because he's white and unassuming.
Yeah, it's just there's something to be said about that, and like that's not racist. It's not. It's just. But
I think Caruso had more swag right off the bat. Austin Reeves had to find the headband and get the floppy hair to the side.
But you know what it is? Like, we can't be fake about this. If you go to the schoolyard and you see some dad with whack-ass shorts and a headband on, and he's beating the young, flashy players in, like, schoolyard ball, that's sort of what Austin Reeves is doing. Everyone else seems like they have way more swag and way more style and way everything. And this guy he knows how to ball. And like you said, there's nothing sexy about him. Even his post games, like he's charming in a goofy way.
I forget what Reddick said about him, though. He's something about, like, everyone on the court knows that he's dangerous. He's a bad dude. Reeves has been playing like a superstar, not just a good player. Like, to get attention, he has to be a superstar, and that's what he's doing. After going 5 for 9 from deep against the Bucks, Austin Reeves has officially passed Caldwell Pope for 7th place on the Lakers' all-time 3-points made list. Total three-pointers made, Reeves, 523 threes. 523 threes, 37% in 291 games. Caldwell Pope, 522 threes and 38%, 292 games. So he's just climbing the ranks left and right, day after day, numbers going up. And as these memes and as the stats show, he's just getting started. Like, so he's already climbing the three-point ranks for Lakers. He's in Kobe company, and I still don't think he's getting that superstar treatment. Happy holidays from Covino and Rich, to Fox Sports Radio family, to yours. We're live from the Fox Sports Radio studio, and for over 40 years, Tire Rack's been helping customers find the right tires for how, what, and where they drive. Shipped fast and free, backed by free road hazard protection with convenient installation options. Installation. Like mobile tire installation. TireRack.com, the way tire buying should be. And Sesame Street helped raise all of us. Now it's our turn. Donate this holiday season at sesame.org because the world needs Sesame, and Sesame needs you. Now, we're in the middle of playing Mike's Wednesday Words of Wisdom. We have one last shot at getting it right, repeating his words of wisdom verbatim. Who do we got, Danny G?
Fifth and final try, Gary in Idaho.
Let's go, Gary. Let's go, Gary.
Hi. When making dinner for your children, it doesn't have to be fancy, just edible and not on fire.
Yeah, that's a winner.
That's a winner.
And that's how you do it. Congrats, man. That's it. A holiday prize, stocking stuffer for all. The coveted Turbo Grip CNR and FSR Nerf football. Danny G will be sending one out. Stay on hold. Congrats, man.
Thanks, Gary.
And I also want to give people on the live chat, Rich, on our YouTube live chat, Covino and Rich FSR, join the fun and watch what you hear. They got it right, too. But you got to call in to play this game. But props to you.
Cove, we mentioned Gary Baba Booey Delabate, and that guy's name was Gary.
Yeah.
I always thought a fun fact that I love dropping is that we had Rick Springfield on our show once, the legend Rick Springfield.
Yeah.
And he said the name of the song was Gary's Girl, but he thought in the 80s Gary wasn't like the coolest name, so he's like, he just changed it to Jesse. So it was actually Gary's Girl, but he's like, Gary didn't seem like a cool 80s name.
Well, that guy seemed pretty cool to me. He's the big winner.
There you go.
He's the cool guy today. Congrats. That is a great fun fact, Rich. But now it's time.
I wish that I had Gary's Girl.
Yeah, not the same ring now. It's time for Midweek Major.
Yeah. Covino and Rich get you over the middle of the week with Midweek Major.
Ooh, I love that.
We throw sports and pop culture headlines and topics at the fellas, and it's like the kids say.
That's so mid. Week definitely major.
CNR scoring. Midweek Major.
Aw, yeah. Let's go faster to give Spotty 8 full minutes.
I don't want him.
Before I hand things over to the number one and only host of this segment, usually we roll the 2 big red love dice, but since Covino's sitting over there in the main studio by himself, you're in the home studio, Cove.
That's right. Home field advantage.
Look what I'm holding.
Oh, Ben Maller's ass penny.
Discontinued ass penny. I'm going to flip it. You call it in the air. Go.
All right. Heads. Heads I win, tails Rich is loose.
It is heads.
Yeah!
That means Covino gets first take. And now, ladies and gentlemen, the most famous person, besides Judy Blume, from Scotch Plains, New Jersey, Spotty Boy.
Hi, guys.
Hey, Spot.
How are you? Let's jump right in. How's it going? I mean, it's on my list of stories, so we might as well just tap into it, have some quotes. But talking about Phillip Rivers, ready to get back on the field. Of course, not without some concern from his family and his wife. Spoke with the media earlier today, marking his first time on the NFL podium since 2021 in his retirement. So when asked about his retirement, said his wife is quite anxious. My wife has been a big fan the whole time I played, and she's nervous about the physical aspect of it, as you would expect any wife to be. He said there's always been a risk in the 250 games he played, whether you're 24 in the best shape or you're 44 and not so sure. Anything can happen. That has never been a concern of mine. He said he didn't walk away because he felt like he was done. He just wanted to spend time with his family, and he did. He has, 10 kids? 10 kids, I believe.
Man,
he's a grandpa.
So he's a grandpa, midweek or major.
He stays in shape.
I think everything about this story is interesting and major for sure, because we're all going to be tuned in to see what he still has.
Major.
Rooting for the old guy. Really? He's the best choice? There's so many questions. 44, again, that's a young man in life, but an old guy on the field, especially when you haven't played in 5 years. And he also said at the press conference, no Zoom, let's go. Because the last time he was on the podium, or last time he was doing press, it was 2020. So everything was Zoom and COVID and miserable. And I could see a part of him not wanting to go out like that and, doing it live in front of people again. So that's kind of cool. So very major.
I mean, I agree. It's major. I mean,
Definitely
all eyes
major.
on Phillip Rivers. In fact, I hate to say this because Dan Byer, forget it. He's a Covino guy anyway. If they beat the Seahawks, what a cool upset special that would be. They're double-digit underdogs, but if Phillip Rivers takes the field for the Colts and they beat the hot Seahawks, that's just another amazing story for the 2025 NFL season. And interestingly enough, like you said, it's been a minute. We just saw LeBron James, who's, anyone 40-plus. LeBron has, arthritis and old guy injuries, so it's always a risk, especially at that age, but wishing him the best.
All right, over to the not-so-hot Chiefs. Travis Kelce didn't hold back sharing his feelings on the state of the cheeks. The cheeks.
They are more cheeks.
They are cheeks.
Yeah, they are.
On this week's New Heights podcast episode. So after they went 6-7 this past week, Sunday, Kelce said, I'm going to have to censor myself here. It's a SE effing feeling, especially dropping the effing ball late in the game, when we were on our last effing chance to make something shake. Clearly, he's emotional. His brother, of course, there to support him, but Travis says he'll put his heart on the line for the last 4 games of the season because his teammates and the Chiefs kingdom deserves it. He said, we're going to keep effing rolling. And if you're a big Kelce fan, I know, Rich Covino, you're a big Jason Kelce fan. He's dropping a new holiday song this week with his company Garage Beer. It's going to be released on the website. Special holiday vinyl collector's edition with Travis Kelce reading a story if you want to catch that midweek or major.
I'd say the second half of the story with Jason singing is mid.
Sorry.
Who cares about that?
That's so mid.
Maybe you can. I don't know.
I'm not buying it, but props to him. He's very entertaining. As far as Travis, I'd say that's major because
Definitely major.
I see the writing on the wall, and it says Rich Davis is a weenie, and it says this is the last hurrah
Did you
for
write that?
Kelce. And that's why Mahomes said something along the lines recently of, he just wants to appreciate his moments with Kelce while he's around. Something along those lines.
Yeah.
And, yeah, I'm glad that he cares, but this is not how he wanted to go out. Unfortunately, that's just how it is.
Yeah, I think it's major because
Definitely major.
you could argue this is America's team. Cowboys versus the Chiefs was a record-breaking, not only attendance, viewership. So there's still an interest for the Chiefs, and the Travis Kelce thing is still a big story. They're going to get married next year. The fact that they're not going to make the postseason, I'll be honest, it's an L for the NFL. Luckily, the NFL is king anyway, but this is a big deal. And as far as Kelce's bro, Jason, singing, Covino's full of it because what are you going to listen to? The waitresses? I forgot cranberries too.
I love that one.
Come on, what do you listen to?
That's my favorite Christmas jam.
Yeah.
Okay. Giants.
Peace on earth.
That's enough.
Can it be? What do you
Giants
listen to, Bowie
running.
and Bing Crosby?
Yeah, loved it. Giants running back Cam Scatterbo shared a big social media update today, and that it said he's back on his feet walking. So he posted a clip on his social earlier today of him walking into the team facility without the assistance of a scooter or a boot. So it's been about 2 months since his gruesome injury where his foot was spun around, facing the wrong way. He said, quote, "God is good, man. Just want to say thank you to everybody that supported. We getting back. Let's go." Midweek or major?
Major. I love this dude. No scooter? What's
Definitely
that
major.
a boot? I think this is great. I think this is great news. He's a young player. He caught a tough break, and we want to see him recover fully, and we want him to bring that energy back to the NFL. That was a fun storyline for everybody, especially for Giants fans. So it's good to see that he's recovering and that he's already moving forward.
Man, you said fully.
Man.
I think it's major too.
Definitely major.
I love the Cam Scatterbo,
Scatterbo.
Jackson Dart connection. I don't think he's officially there yet until they start headbutting again, but I think it's a great story for the NFL. I think every year we talk about how every team has its own storyline, and the Giants already have theirs set up for next year. Bottom feeding type of team. They got some good young talent. Can they build around it? The Giants are going to be a very interesting offseason team, and I think when they start selecting who's going to be hard knocks, who would not want to see those guys?
All right. Considering a career change, Mel, you might want to be consider being a water boy.
I know you do a great. I thought you were going to start telling me about skateusa.com or something.
Sorry. Rich, I know you do a great water boy impression. Well, new reports have been revealed that show the current average salary for a water boy, and some fans are stunned. It fluctuates depending on the team, but the average is $50,000 to $60,000 a year. So they tend to be paid less during the offseason and don't get paid during preseason. But most water boys do have a background in athletics.
And
Quality
H2O.
And Quality H2O are officially classed as being part of the the team's training staff. They also are expected to sign a non-compete, which restricts them from jumping from team to team, so they take it very seriously. And it's more than just carrying a bottle of water. They tape up guys, provide treatment during the week, before and after games, and it's more of an apprenticeship as part of the training staff to learn the craft. So midweek or major?
This is mid. We're talking water
That's
boys.
so mid.
In related news, wedding singers also make 50. Bobby Boucher and Robbie Hart both make about 50 to 60K a year.
Okay.
I think it's cool, but it's not that major. It's kind of mid.
I think it's major, and I'll tell you why.
Definitely major.
I never knew that water boys had non-competes. You can't give water to anyone else. You hear me? You can't give anyone else water. But I do think it's interesting because we forget that ball boys or ball girls, water boys, we think that's like a silly position, but they are part of the staff and part of the training.
You know what's interesting, Rich? As a guy in radio, I can tell you straight up, I don't care. I was working in the late 1900s, driving radio station vans, but my full-time salary was $24,000 a year. So to see what water boys are getting paid $60,000 a year to be surrounded by really cool people and living the dream sort of for a young person, it's not too shabby.
Yeah, I mean, cool don't pay the bills, though.
It's a good entry point.
No, but it's somewhere. It's something.
Listen, if that's your entry point to being part of the training staff and like the head trainer or something, that's I feel that's cool.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Thank you, Spot.
Over to the real news.
All right.
Dan Byer, take it away.
Hi, DB.
Fellas, what's going on? We have the big news from college football as the University of Michigan has fired head football coach Sharon Moore with cause after 2 seasons. Michigan Athletic Director Ward Manuel released a statement saying they have credible evidence that Moore had an inappropriate relationship with a staff member. Assistant Biff Poggi will serve as the team's interim head coach in the Citrus Bowl. Colts quarterback Phillip Rivers, he officially decided his practice squad deal today. Of course, there comes the whole Hall of Fame conversation where Rivers is pushing off the possible enshrinement in Canton by coming back to the game.
It's a real honor to be mentioned with those other 25 guys, certainly. But, that's just not – I'm not holding my breath on that, and I'm not – hey, I hadn't been counting down the years. I mean, and with all respect to the Hall, and if one day I can be a part of that group, it will be special. But the extension of that time, if that comes to be, was not a factor in my thinking.
Riley Leonard did practice fully for the Colts today. Rivers does have a chance to play Sunday against the Seahawks, but they'll make that determination later on in the week. Washington Commanders quarterback Jaden Daniels won't play in Week 15 against the Giants. Raiders quarterback Geno Smith likely to miss their game against the Eagles. Mike Evans expected back for the Bucs tomorrow against the Falcons, but Atlanta won't have wide receiver Drake London. The NFL announced the Texans-Chargers game in Week 17 along with the Ravens-Packers contest will be played on Saturday, December 27th. The NFL also notifying teams they are cutting the amount of times that the teams have to make a first-round pick during the draft, so it goes down from 10 minutes to 8. Every Olympic dream starts with a first glide. Through Learn to Skate USA, kids build confidence, strength, and joy on the ice. Learn to Skate USA offers programs for skaters of all ages and abilities. Find a program near you at learntosskateusa.com. Maverick center Derek Lively out for the season because of foot surgery. And Manchester City topped Real Madrid 2-1 during Champions League play today. Guys, back to you.
Hey, thanks, Dan
and
Byer.
I heard the Mets water boy just went to the Brewers.
Oh, man.
Yeah, the details you guys have been talking about. 5 years, $155 million for Pete Alonso to go to the Orioles. The Orioles were in on Schwarber yesterday, but he wanted to go to the back to the Phils, so they gave it to Alonso instead.
Based on that, Rich, there seems to be a popular sentiment. I see a lot of people on social media saying, how do you let him go? I get it, but nobody let him go. Maybe they misstepped a little bit, but you can't control what other people do and the decisions they make. It's like a divorce. You can't control that person to stay in this relationship
Covino,
with you if they want to move on.
Bro, you let her go?
No, I didn't let her go. She decided to leave. It's not like the Mets decided to let him go. They offered him, how much less? They didn't let him go.
Yeah, Diaz didn't come back and check, and he didn't even entertain a Mets offer. He just went with the Orioles. So
you can't control people, man. They had their minds made up.
Yeah, no, you ain't kidding, buddy. You
All
ain't
right.
kidding.
So, hey, start thinking about this based on Rivers' comeback. Who else could we really see returning realistically? If this guy's coming back after not playing 5 years, Who else could return? It could be
Now-
a coach. It could be anyone.
The window has closed since, but for a minute, I thought we might see more Gronk. But that window's closed. But didn't you think you'd see Gronk come back for some reason?
Yeah, no, but I think that's off the table. We take your phone calls next right here on Covino and Rich. Let's start with Cam Scattaboo, or as I called him, Scam Cataboo.
Ooh, Scattaboo.
He's getting a lot of negative press this week.
Yeah. It's
What's
all
he
bullshit.
doing?
It's all bullshit because he goes to Monday Night Raw.
Yeah.
And since we talked about it, just a little update. Coach said it was an organized trip for the rookies on the team. It's bonding. They do things like this. It's just everyone, because he's hurt, has a fucking problem with him shoving wrestlers.
Bad optics, though.
The Judgment Day.
Think of how Giants fans feel knowing how much promise he had this season. Breaks an ankle. It's like, yo, man, what's he doing on that ankle right there? We know it's fake and all, but anything could happen.
Yeah, but like I said the other day.
What do you mean?
I'm sorry, Spot. Wrestling it's real, buddy. It's real.
What are you talking about?
I mean, it is sports entertainment, but
it's a bit of a tussle. It could be rough. Gotta be gentle. Take it easy. As they say in New York, take it easy.
I have a question.
Take it easy.
Come on, Cam, take it easy. He's celebrating his 10,000th follower. So he has 10,000 followers on Twitch. So what he does is he takes an energy drink in celebration, he puts it in a cleat, and he does the infamous shoey. There you go. I don't get down like this. This is where the party stops for me. I'm not that kind of guy. I'm not the less bash heads and less, punch a wall kind of guy.
I mean, it's his own shoe.
Yeah, but that's gross.
I hope it's a clean shoe.
I mean, but regardless, it's his shoe. If
But
it
dude,
was,
when
I wouldn't drink out of your shoe.
When people do shoeys, they're not always clean shoes. Look at them. Let's go. Let's go. Oh, let's go shoeys. So I call this, you can call it whatever you want. But me personally, Steve Covino, I call this the weakest party moves.
Oh, this is your no-no list?
Yeah, this is Steve Covino's no-no list. Like, I don't get down like that.
All right, so
like,
if you're a guy like Covino,
like if someone's like, yo, dude, let's do a shoey, I'm like, how about no?
I've heard Covino actually say at parties, even when he was younger, even before he knew him, for some reason, Covino's like, I don't scattaboo.
I don't scattaboo. I don't scat. Hey, you know what? You scattaboo. I'm going to go talk to some chicks. That was my mindset back
here
then.
we go.
No,
All right,
seriously.
so what are
like,
the things that
this
even
isn't like a turnoff, dude?
Even when you were in college and you were living with your buddies at the frat house or whatever the hell you were doing, what are the things you would never do?
You could call these fun time party antics from back in the day. I call these weak ass moves. These moves come at a lifetime guarantee.
Or
No
maybe,
ass
or
for a
maybe
lifetime. Guaranteed.
for people that aren't a stick in the mud like you, maybe things that we've graduated past.
Fine. Whatever you want to
All
call
right,
it.
okay, let's go.
I'm kicking it off with keg stands. Have I done one in my life? One. One and done. No bueno.
I don't think I've ever done
Lame. Vatos don't keg stand. That's a rare photo right there.
That's what I said.
So keg standing.
No, this is a photo of you from college.
Get out of here.
All
I
right,
graduated.
what else does not fly with Steve Covino?
Body shots.
Off of dudes?
Anybody. Like
'Cause
really,
I would-
if she's a smoke show and I'm just a horned up dude, yeah, fine. But it's not always like a hot chick that you're getting a body shot from.
Here's the problemo. I'll tell you, I've done body shots off of some good-looking ladies back in the day.
You want
but,
to drink a shot out of someone's lint-filled belly button?
no, but here's the problem.
This isn't your style.
But here's the problem.
I don't even know what's going on.
I've done body shots off of women at bars in my 20s, but here's the problem.
Meanwhile,
Much like
50 other guys have done shots off the same woman.
I mean, if you want to take the words out of my mouth, go ahead. Do the show by yourself, then.
Well, don't you have that strip club theory?
My strip club theory is every time you put your face in some girl's big boobs, you're rubbing another dude's face, essentially, because some other guy's face was right there. So same theory with the body shot.
Barf.
Hot in theory, but the reality is you're like licking her belly where some other dude probably licked her belly.
Let me ask you this. I get it. We all do dumb things when we're young, right? And you could chalk it up to, hey, man, I was in my 20s, and that's fine.
Yeah.
But you got to graduate from these things. Beer funnels / helmets.
Okay, I'm with you. I never felt the instinct, and I'm not saying I'm above it. We've all had our fair share of drunk fun times as young men, but I've never felt the urge to like funnel anything.
Never needed it that bad.
I could pace myself and still get buzzed, you know?
And, the beer helmet, nothing says you're a loser sports fan or just a loser, period, than a beer helmet. Here's one I've done once. I remember clear as day, and I'm like, this is the most... Yo, this is my jam! You mean you forgot cranberries too?
For years I never knew that, they're just telling a fun story.
Oh, it's a love story, man. Bah humbug. The waitress's Christmas wrappings.
Bah humbug.
Covino and Rich on Fox Sports Radio. Everything's at Covino and Rich on social media. Quick reminder that our bonus podcast is available on our YouTube page. You could watch what you hear right now on our YouTube page and chat live. Covino and Rich FSR. Tomorrow, overpromised episode 121, we welcome Jimmy Jam, the famous music producer. He's doing something really cool. He's going to have stories of Michael Jackson, Prince, Lionel Richie, you name it. But he's also a big sports fan, a big Timberwolves fan, big Minnesota fan. So Jimmy Jam on Overpromised, Covino and Rich FSR tomorrow. Right now, we're live from the Fox Sports Radio studio, and every goal starts with an assist on and off the field. That's why Halion and U.S. Soccer are launching for the assist. A celebration of everyday acts of support that help people achieve their goals with iconic brands like Sensodyne, Tums, Voltaren, Advil, and Centrum. To learn more, go to HalionAssist.com.
Hey, Covino.
Yeah.
You hit your 40s. What is one thing we all notice?
Injuries are more likely to happen. It could be the start of something, right? What you think is just a little injury, could be the start of something more. Never goes away.
What else? Take a look down a little bit.
Not as ripped as he used to be.
Exactly.
You're not
Phillip
as
Rivers,
cool as you used to be.
Phillip Rivers was asked about his weight at the press conference.
Ooh.
And he was a good sport. They go, tell us about your playing weight now, because he does look a little
chunkier,
little thicker,
chunky,
a little chunkier. He said, "Well, my playing weight, I'll tell you this: it's not what it was when I walked off the field in Buffalo for my last game. But you know what? I ain't never run away from anyone anyway."
Oh,
he's like, I'm just slinging. I'm not running,
Hey,
so
dude, you got to respect the attitude and the fortitude and the willingness to go out there and risk injury and prolong his Hall of Fame eligibility and all that stuff. So,
but that's a can. You know what? I'll tell you what. That's a can you want to kick down the road. If you could play and have fun and be out on the field, you know what? Your Hall of Fame eligibility, you just get it a little when you're a little more of an older man. They'll be a little more gray.
Based on this story, and it's a fun one. It's interesting, right?
Yeah.
Everybody has their opinions on it. Who else could you really see returning to the big leagues, to the NFL, to professional sports? Because one answer comes to mind, and it's not a player, it's a coach. And there's a lot of buzz that John Gruden might be that guy. Is he the number one answer? He might be.
At least in Rumorville, yeah.
In Rumorville, he might be. But, hey, if you have any answers, hit us up at Covino and Rich and think about it, and maybe we'll talk about it tomorrow. There's a lot of rumors about your boy, Danny G.
The ship has sailed on a few of them, but I remember for a minute, don't you feel like every offseason you would see Bartolo Colon
Oh yeah, he's long.
No matter how big he was,
There's
the guy
no way.
he just throws strikes. So I feel like there was a time where I'm like, could he come back again? Bartolo's one. I said Gronk at one point. I was like, maybe Gronky comes out. There are guys like T.O. or Ocho Cinco where I always thought that maybe a team would take a chance, but they never did. There were guys that threw it out there.
Those are older examples because I think their window's closed. So who are the other ones that are still around of like, hey, maybe?
Didn't Leonard Fournette this year be like, yo, I want back in, and everyone's like, nah, we're good.
Rich, how about one connected to John Gruden? Who did the Colts contact before they went and talked with Phillip Rivers? Derek Carr.
Oh, Derek Carr. They're saying that maybe he's a mentor, like 1-year quarterback for whoever the Raiders draft, right?
Yeah, and he's showing promise in broadcasting too, though. So there's a lot of rumors about Gruden, Giants, Raiders, Browns, Steelers. You know what? We'll talk more about it tomorrow. Think about it in the meantime. Rich, sorry about your Mets, buddy.
All right. Well, hey, have a good one. Arrivederci, baby.
We'll see you in the promised land.
Goodbye.